All right, everybody. Samori Benjamin here with New York Yankees infielder Jahmai Jones, first-year Yankee. Jahmai, thanks for joining me, man. And nice to meet you.
No, thank you so much.
Definitely, and great that you're here. Now, I know you came up in Georgia, right?
Yep.
And so, how was it for you just coming up in Georgia as a kid and playing sports?
I loved it. I feel like Georgia's a hub for all sports, especially the major three sports: football, baseball, basketball. I feel like that's the three that are most dominant in the South. And coming from a football background, we were told we got to play multiple sports and be versatile. So I played everything growing up and just gravitated towards baseball towards the end. And there's so many great baseball players that have come out of Georgia. So the influence is there and the atmosphere is there, and I loved it.
Yeah, I know there's a few ball players who are from your area who are in the major leagues right now. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Now, coming up, were you a fan of the Atlanta team, Georgia teams?
Oh yeah, I mean, growing up in Atlanta, it's almost like accustomed to, you know what I mean? It's hard to root for anybody else, and I loved it. I mean, I watched a lot of Atlanta sports growing up. I still do. It's hard not to. You're so immersed in it that it's. I feel like it'd almost be pointless not to watch.
Yeah. So, Falcons fan?
A Falcons fan, yes, but I was also kind of a fan of whoever my brothers were playing for at the time. So, but definitely Falcons fan.
So, did your brothers play in the NFL at all?
Oh, they did.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Brothers and my dad.
Yeah. Your father, right? I knew. So, yeah, brothers too. Okay. Yeah. Right. So, what team did your brothers play for in the NFL?
So, one of my brothers was the Lions and the Giants, and then my other brother was the Bears and the Falcons.
What's your brother's name?
TJ and TJ Jones.
TJ Jones, nice man. Okay, awesome. So are they older or younger?
Oh, they're older than me.
So how was it just having the older brothers who were so good in the athletics to look up to coming up?
It was amazing. It honestly was everything I needed. I had an example right in front of me of what it took to get to the next level every time they ascended, either whether that was high school to college or college to the NFL, and I had an example and kind of a path set before me that it was easy for me to follow, and I just had to put my head down and kind of grind and do what I needed to do. But having them in front of me doing it, it was monumental to my growth and development as a person and as a player that I honestly don't know if I'd be here without them. They've done so much for me in my life, and I still give thanks to them till this day.
That's great. And myself growing up here in New York and being a big baseball fan, I could see when I was a kid that a lot of my black peers weren't into baseball that much. Atlanta, where you're from, your area, I see a lot of Afro-American players who have even made it here. So, and with your brothers playing, how did you get into baseball? I guess your brothers probably were playing baseball too, right?
Yeah, like I said, we were told growing up we wanted to play everything. We didn't want to necessarily shut off so early because I think you learn a lot from playing different sports. You learn a lot about yourself, body awareness, and things that you can use in every sport you play. Kind of feel like they apply to all the sports together. They might not directly apply, like swinging a bat's not going to help you kick a soccer ball, but the body awareness that you have on a soccer field might help you get body awareness necessarily defensively or even just where your body is in space. So I think there's a lot of different things that you can take from being a multi-sport athlete that we just gravitated towards. So obviously, when it was baseball season, we played baseball, and when it was football season, basketball season, we played those sports. But I just gravitated towards baseball. I really did. I loved it, and I feel like when I would go away from the baseball field, I always wanted to stay there longer. And I felt like as I got older, it only got more intense as time went on, where I kind of understood. I was like, man, I think I really do just love baseball, and I want to see where this goes, and thankfully it's taken me here.
Right, so being a football player as well, and you had a football physique, I can see you've been a running back, defensive back, whatever. At what point did you decide, I think I'm going to take the baseball route more serious?
I did it in high school. I had a lot more baseball interests. I had football interests. I had some offers on the table and some rumblings of things, but baseball was kind of more rumblings of me getting drafted out of high school, that there was a chance for that if I continue to progress and be on the road that I was on. So as things kind of progressed further, there were so many things that were pointing towards baseball that it was hard for me internally to turn away from that. I loved the sport, and I felt like I was getting a lot of notoriety for it. So with those two things in mind, and possibly getting an opportunity to not only change my life but change my family's life, it was hard for me to turn that down at 17 years old.
Yes. No doubt, right. And I know you were drafted out of high school, so I'm sure definitely that made the decision easy for you. But you said you got offers for football for college, so what were some of the schools who offered you scholarships?
It was a lot of talks, a lot of schools were interested in both, so it just kind of varied. It was like the schools that I had baseball offers in were interested for me to play football, if I would do it or not, and it just kind of handful of schools, but I mean I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, just it was just things that were kind of said, and I was like, playing both in college is awesome in theory, and in the prospect of that, I was like, dang man, that could be really cool, and so yeah, but just ended up choosing baseball ultimately.
No doubt. You know what? I know there's a few guys who are playing now who I'm sure you probably came up with, playing with. I know Lawrence Butler.
Yep.
C.J. Abrams is from your area.
Yep, he's right from my area. Will Benson, Xavier Curry.
Even your boy who was just here, Taylor Trammell.
Yeah, T's my guy, man. That's my dog. I love that guy. There's so many guys that are in that area. Tyler Stevenson, Daz Cameron. I could go on and on. I could name a billion guys from my area, but there's a lot of talent coming out of that area. So, like I said, that influence of baseball culture and that community that's built around it, it's just unreal. Yeah. So I felt like it was hard for me to turn that away when everything was going. It felt like it was going towards baseball. I was like, I'm going to really ride this out and see what happens.
That's cool. So what was it like playing against and playing with some of those guys, and now 2 years later, you're all in the major leagues playing here?
Baseball has formed some of my closest relationships with guys, and some of my best friends to this day came from baseball. So the sport has given me a lot that I'm thankful for, a lot of opportunities, but it's given me friends that'll last a lifetime. It was amazing. We all grew up together, and to kind of it all happen into where we are now, it's honestly the stuff we talked about as kids. Like, oh man, we're going to be on this team, we're going to be on this team. We'll all be in the big leagues hanging out, and thankfully it's kind of all started to turn out that way.
So coming up, who's the most talented guy that you played with?
That I played with?
Played with or played against,
There's a lot of guys I played with. Some of the most talented guys, I'm telling you, there's so many coming from that area. Most talent. Obviously, in that area, I played with Austin Riley. I played with, Tyler Stevenson, Brandon Marsh, like you said, Taylor Trammell, Daz, Zay, Will Benson. There's too many guys to necessarily pinpoint it down, because there's so much talent coming out of that area. Trey Cabbage was a Tennessee guy, but he lived in Atlanta a lot to play baseball. He's up with the Astros right now. I could go on and on about a bunch of guys, but there's just a lot of talent coming out of that area.
That's great, man. So now you were drafted in 2015 or 2016?
2015.
Okay, by the Angels in the third round, right?
Second.
Second round. Okay, excuse me. So what was that like for you? 17, 18 years old, so young, and you're drafted by a major league team.
It was everything you dream of. It was everything you prepared for, and everything that you possibly could do, encapsulated into a single moment, a single phone call. And I'll never forget my phone ringing and my agent telling me what was going to happen, and then a couple minutes later my name pops up on the screen, and the dream of everything that I'd been working up to that point came true, and then it was to embark another journey, and it was everything I could ask for. I loved every moment of it, and it's something I'll truly never forget.
Cool, man. Now, minor leagues, I know is tough, it's a grind. Unlike the other sports, when you're drafted, you go right to the major league team, the professional team. Well, they're all professional minor leagues, but the big league team. There's no minor leagues in football and basketball. So how was it playing in the minor leagues? Yes, the grind that the minor leagues can be.
Yeah, it is a grind. It's a lot of games, a lot of different cities that you never thought you'd travel to, but I loved it. I love playing baseball, and ultimately I just looked at it as an opportunity to get better, and thankfully just try to ultimately get here. So.
Great, man. Now, I know you made your debut in 2020. That was a weird season because of COVID and all that. So how was that year for you? I know probably starting in the minor leagues, and there's no minor league season, and then I guess you guys had kind of a location where you practice or whatever. But how was the 2020 for you before you got your chance got called up, and then how was
so 2020 spring training? It was the team was breaking. I got told I wasn't breaking with the team, and then all of a sudden that same day COVID broke out, so they sent everybody home. And it was kind of just like we don't know what's going to happen, a little bit of uncertainty, but we kept working out, kept grinding, obviously trying to be safe about it and be smart about it. And then got a call to come into the alt site. They brought everybody back, everybody's working out, and eventually just grinded and got out of the alt site to make my debut.
Nice. 2 more for you.
Yep.
Growing up as a kid, who was your favorite player?
Oh man, dude, I loved watching Kutch play. I haven't gotten a chance to meet him yet in person and really gotten to talk to him, but I loved watching him play growing up. Obviously, like Andrew Jones, getting to watch him play a lot. It was being an Atlanta guy. Like it's crazy how everything kind of comes full circle. Chipper's another guy. Dustin Pedroia was a guy I loved watching play. Petey, I just loved the way he played the game. He went about his business, was grinding, played it hard, and those are some of the influence I just really like watching those guys play. Yeah.
Yeah, cool story. Quick story real quick. You mentioned McCutcheon at the first guy you mentioned. So the first All-Star game I ever covered was 2008. It was at the old Yankee Stadium.
Right.
And he was in the Futures game that year, and I interviewed him at that time. That was very cool, So and it was cool to see him 5 years later became the MVP of the National League. So,
right.
Okay. No, do you like playing infield better or outfield?
I honestly don't care.
Okay,
I just want to play. I equally like both. I got drafted as a center fielder, debuted as a second baseman, and now I'm playing all over the place. Like I've played second, third, left, and right this year, so it's like I just want to be as versatile as possible. I love it. I love the challenge of it, and anything that this team needs me to do, I'm there for it.
Last one. You're here in New York, in the Bronx, with the Yankees, playing the Yankee Stadium. So your first year here, so what's it like just being here playing for the Yankees?
Man, it's special. We have a special group in there, man. It is an unbelievable locker room, and it's an unbelievable coaching staff. Everybody respects one another, but we also look out for each other. Everybody's got each other's backs, and I truly feel like everyone's leaning on each other to get better. The team camaraderie is crazy. We're a bunch of dogs, man. That's all we are. We're trying to be just dogs in the locker room, dogs out here. So being able to do that, man, it's been awesome, and it's just great to be a part of it.
Before you go, New York Knicks real quick. Did you have a chance to see any of what they did during the playoffs? And
yeah, we got to watch a lot of it. We unfortunately had a bust right in the middle of the game, but we were trying to follow it and keep up with it. And God, we hated seeing it not happen, but almost.
Great, man. All right, folks. First year Yankee infielder Jahmai Jones. Jahmai, thank you, man, and great meeting you.
Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate
thank you.
All right, folks, we're back.